Hello, YouTubers. Wanted to run through something that I've been dealing with for a few days. I bought the Ryobi garage door opener. Pretty nice. I got it at Home Depot for like $198, and it's a pretty good price. It's belt drive, the whole thing. Super quiet, super quiet. Can't even hear it. My bedroom is right on the side of the door. Can't hear it opening or closing. A little spooky, but that's fine. All right, so um, I've been fighting a problem trying to get the final configuration set up on this thing. Um, I was able to install the hardware. The manual was pretty good. You know, I took the old one down, did the whole thing, followed the instructions. I will say the instructions are a little too detailed in some areas to where you're not quite sure what they're telling you to do. And then there's other areas where it's not quite clear. There are certain places in the manual where it'll just say, push this button and then do this programming. Well, it doesn't. No, you have to hold the button in for, say, 5 seconds, and then the light starts flashing. And what I'm referring to here is like the hub and the door sensor, that sort of thing. But because I have an Android, I don't know how iPhones work in this regard, but basically the way the system works, from what I can understand, is the main unit here, it's got the ability to talk to your Wi-Fi, and the home hub, which is used to communicate with the accessories, maybe not all of it, but like the door sensor. That's my issue, is the door sensor. I could not get the door sensor to frickin' work. I will say that the fact that you have to use the Android or the app on your phone to do all your configuration is a little irritating, because you have to follow these steps exactly, and you also have to like take a breath and don't go too fast. All right. So the basic moral of the story here is that, well, here my light just, okay, I'm underneath my deal here. Basically, let me get my other lights. Come on. I have sensors in here for motion. Anyway, so the moral of the story here is that you basically, and this is where I got into trouble and I didn't realize it, is that for you to say set up the main control unit to talk to your Wi-Fi, you have to connect to its Wi-Fi. It's like a little Wi-Fi router, essentially. So you have to push a button, and I know you've read the manual. You have to push the button for 5 seconds on the control head, and then it starts flashing, and then you're in the app, and then you follow the instructions, and then it allows you to select your Wi-Fi, and then it connects to your Wi-Fi, providing that you provide the correct password. Here's where I got in trouble. I have 2 Wi-Fi hubs in the house, routers. My Android automatically will jump to one that's working. Okay, that's the key here. The thing is that the phones are being a little smarter than I am. So it's when you connect to the Wi-Fi of your control head, my Android detects that there's no internet access, which there wouldn't be, because it's like a little Wi-Fi zone in your garage. Well, first step, when you do that, the Android will pop up a message saying there's no internet access. Continue? Do you want to stay on this? And you have to say yes. All right, that's fine. You get that. Even in the instructions on the app will pop that up if it detects that it's taking too long. Well, I kind of discarded that at one point, and I didn't realize that was a problem. So here's what you really need to do. Because my Android have the 2 Wi-Fi units, like I said, when it detects that it can't get to the internet, it automatically jumps on one of them. So you could be at any point in the programming of this whole thing, and the phone jumps onto your house Wi-Fi, and now you've lost connectivity to whatever device you're trying to program. Okay? And you don't know it, because it just kind of dies, and it sits there, and you're like, what's going on? It literally took me about a dozen times to walk through these steps every time to get it going. So, here's my trick. First thing before you do anything, okay? Of course, you need to know your Wi-Fi home password, okay? Write that down. Obviously, you probably have it, whatever. Go into your settings and do a forgot. on those so that those Wi-Fi connections do not work. Your home internet Wi-Fi will not work on your phone. Very important. Then, of course, now start the process. Basically, the process is push the button on top of the Ryobi unit for 5 seconds. And I don't think I can turn my phone around. But anyway, sorry guys. I'm old and I have reading glasses. Okay, can't really do that. Anyway, so the basic setup is that you hold the button on top of the unit, which is of course right here. There it is. And you see the solid green right here. Anyway, you hold that button for 5 seconds, it starts flashing. And then the next thing is the phone, and it's not really descriptive. It's not, I don't think it's very, very good, but it basically says, okay, it pops up the Ryobi Wi-Fi that is being generated by this unit. Okay, and it'll say something like Ryobi, and it's a bunch of numbers of good. Fine. And what they want you to do is they want you now to go back to your Wi-Fi settings and jump on that network. And you touch it, and like in the case of my Android, it then, if I waited like 5 seconds and don't do anything, it'll pop a little message going, oh, there's no internet. Do you want to stay on this? And you need to say yes. Okay, if you don't say yes, it cuts it. Now you're dead in the water again. So you say yes, fine. And then the next thing it then says is, you know, you go back, and then the next screen shows you a list of the internet Wi-Fi units you have in the house. Now you need to select the one from your house. And in my case, I had 2 of them, and I had to make sure and pick the one I remembered the password for, then put in a password for that. You got to wait a few seconds, and then the control head then talks to the Wi-Fi. They synchronize. Boom, it's on the internet. Great. Now, the next step is that you've got your what do they call this? The relay hub. There we go. The relay hub. So the relay hub is essentially it's a connection between Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, because the unit that's on the wall or on your garage door is Bluetooth, as I understand it. Looks like that's what it is. So now you have to basically do the same thing you did with the unit on the ceiling. Okay? So it tells you to hold the button. Hold this green button right here, okay? And you have to hold that for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then it starts flashing, a very solid on, off, on, off. Now it's basically saying, I want to connect to your Wi-Fi. So same situation occurs. So you have to then select, you got to go to your Wi-Fi now, because you're still connected to this dude up here. Now you got to go to your Wi-Fi and now connect to the relay. It'll say relay, blah, 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 blah. And it tells you on the screen. It does. And so now you connect to that one. Again, stand by, wait until Android pops up and says, oh, no internet. Do you want to stay here? Yes or no? You have to say yes. Okay? So you hit yes. Perfect. Now at that point, it will then get the information from this guy to talk to your Wi-Fi. And then they communicate, and it finally connects. Perfect. Now once that happens, then the next thing is it asks you to go ahead and go back to the unit and hold the lower button for 3 to 5 seconds and start flashing. Now what I was having to do, well, I don't know if this is really required, but I stood next to the unit because I don't know how strong its little Wi-Fi is. Had to connect, stand there, and then boom. It then realized, it showed me, it said something like, unidentified device. That was what I couldn't get. I did it a dozen freaking times. I'm like, what the hell is going on? The problem is that my phone was going, oh, no internet, crap. Then it would jump on my freaking Wi-Fi. Then it couldn't connect and see any of this crap in the garage again. It was like pulling the rug right out from underneath you, time and time again. So because I turned off, or I did the forget on all of my Wi-Fi, my house Wi-Fi units, then it stayed sitting there on the relay Wi-Fi. Once that occurred, it solved the unit over there. Of course, there's a step I didn't mention, which is after you push the button on the wall, you have to go over and push the button on the garage door, and they sync up. Well, once that syncing occurred, because it kept jumping on my home Wi-Fi, I never got that connection to function. And I was pulling my freaking hair out. So, Again, I don't know how the iPhone people are. Sorry, I worked for Google. No iPhone stuff here, but I'm not trashing you guys. So the moral of the story is make sure that there's under no circumstances during this setup that your phone physically, or not physically, but connects to your home Wi-Fi. You need to connect to this guy when you're setting that guy up, and you have to connect to that guy when you're setting that guy up. Okay? I hope this helped you guys out. Like I said, it drove me freaking bananas, and I really wish the manual would specify that. Now, there was one screen that did come up, and it did say, oh, this is taking too long. Maybe your device is telling you that you don't have internet access, and to agree to that. Okay, that's fine. So, I kind of wish that there was some more thought put into this. Now, granted, maybe my situation is a little more complicated, but maybe because I have my Android set to automatically connect to active Wi-Fi, and maybe if I had that turned off, this wouldn't be in a situation. But I really would hope that the people at Ryobi, whoever does their software development on their Android and their iPhone team, will explicitly point that out, that if you lose connection to this Wi-Fi or that Wi-Fi, your setup will fail. Okay, and the other thing that made me crazy was that I could not go in and say, because I got my opener connected, no problem in the beginning, because I boom boom boom, it was really quick, great. But there's no way from the app that I can find that where you can say, oh, I've got a new door open, or I've got a new door sensor. It's a sensor. It senses whether the door is up or down. Can I just go in and jump to that step? I need to jump to that step. Maybe my old one broke. I got a new one. I just want to go in. But you have to go through the whole freaking setup again. From the control head, connected to the Wi-Fi. Then you have to go over and do the wall unit. Anyway, I really wish they'd have the ability for you to just jump right in and jump to that step. Because I know I can add more sensors. I'm not sure what they would before. But I guess if I had a second garage door and I wanted to have that one hub talk to both of them, I don't know. Anyway, so I obviously didn't go through every freaking step. The manual, whoop, there we go. Oh, sorry, guys. Come on, turn the lights on. I'm over here. There we go. Anyway, I got my sensors over the wall. Anyway, so I hope that it helped you guys out. I do love the unit as far as the quality and the construction and the quiet and all that sort of stuff. But the setup for me was extremely frustrating. So anyway, have a good day, and we'll see you next time.